Hey folks, Plev here. And today I'll be teaching you how to fly the F-84 in IL-2 Korea. We'll begin here on the ramp at Seoul. But first, we'll power on the aircraft by pressing E. Now let's take a look around the cockpit. Starting on the left, we have our landing gear indicator lights. Above the trim tab lights, we have our flap position indicator. Now let's take a look at the center console, beginning with the accelerometer, which indicates the G-forces being applied to the aircraft. Below that, we have our radio compass. To the upper right, we have our airspeed indicator, and below that, we have our barometric altimeter. Coming to the right, we have the gyromagnetic compass, and below that, the side slip indicator. Then we have the artificial horizon, our vertical speed indicator, and our tachometer. Below the tachometer, we have our EGT, and below that, we have our fuel flow indicator. Behind our stick, we have our fuel quantity indicator. Below our gun sight, we have our magnetic compass. With the cockpit out of the way, I think we're ready to taxi. We'll turn on our navigation lights with right Alt L. In order to taxi, we'll give her about 40%, 55% throttle until we begin to roll. We'll use the toe brakes to steer the aircraft. The aircraft does not have power steering, and you cannot lock the nose wheel. Using about 30% throttle, controlling my speed with those toe brakes, stepping up as necessary. And we'll stop up here at the hold short. Here at the hold short, we'll configure the aircraft for takeoff. According to the manual, we'll use 20 degrees of flaps. Using the flap position indicator, we will lower our flaps and stop once we've reached 20 degrees. We'll shut the canopy prior to taking the runway by pressing C. With our aircraft configured for takeoff, we'll check for traffic and take the runway.
Eagle, this is Falcon. Requesting takeoff clearance. Over. Falcon, everyone. Takeoff now. Eagle, this is Falcon. Requesting takeoff clearance.
On the runway, we'll apply our brakes and apply 50% power. The brakes still applied, we'll apply full power. We'll wait for 100% engine RPM. We'll release the brakes and begin rolling down the runway. Before 50 miles per hour, we'll use our toe brakes to keep the aircraft straight down the runway, and above 50 miles per hour, we'll begin to use the rudder. We're going to rotate at 125 to 130 miles per hour depending on aircraft weight. Rotate. I'm going to go gear up. I'm going to raise the flaps at over 200 miles per hour. And begin a nice and steady climb, trimming the aircraft as I go. We'll check back in up at altitude and discuss flying the aircraft further. By the time the war in Korea kicked off, the straight-winged F-84E was outclassed by the MiG-15. If you do end up in a dogfight, you should use it as an energy fighter, avoiding getting into turn fights. The aircraft features a very advanced gun sight and computer ballistic system that I'll cover later on when it's fully fleshed out. To control its speed, the aircraft is equipped with an air brake. The aircraft should not exceed 628 miles per hour. Past Mach 0.82, the aircraft begins to become uncontrollable. You should also avoid maneuvering too hard with the wing tanks equipped. With the wing tanks equipped, excessive side slip may cause an uncontrollable spin. By using our jettison drop tanks keybind or left Windows F, we can jettison the tanks. This aircraft is capable of carrying an extremely impressive amount of weaponry. It excels in the role of being a fighter bomber. You can change the salvo settings of both bombs and rockets with the rocket selector keybind and the bomb selector keybind. By default, to change the bomb selector, you can use left Alt B, and to change rocket selector, you can use left Alt R. Back to our previous configuration, let's talk about landing this aircraft. We'll use our air brake to slow the aircraft to below 200 miles per hour. You should do this early, as it takes quite a while for the aircraft to slow down. And as we slow down, we'll keep trimming the aircraft out. And below 200 miles per hour, we'll lower the flaps to 20 degrees. At below 180 miles per hour, we'll go full flaps, 40 degrees, and we'll lower the landing gear. We'll trim ourselves out to be steady at 160 miles per hour. I'm a tiny bit slow, that's okay. We're using our speed brake the whole way in. On final, we're going to be about 160 miles per hour. We're going to want to touch down at least 120 miles per hour. Start to flare and arrest that descent rate. Give her a little bit of power. Kiss the runway. And we'll taxi to parking. Alright folks, I really hope this video helped you learn to fly this jet. Please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing if it did. Go ahead and check the comments also for my Discord. Plev, out.